Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at a very unique sort of hinge, very unusual hinge or atypical, and a hinge that we don't sell often, but when we do it's exciting because it's not the normal sort of hinge. Here's what I mean. This McKinney hinge, and as far as I know McKinney is the only company that manufactures it. There's likely a European or a pan-Asian company that manufactures square barrel hinges, but as far as a domestic manufacturer, I think McKinney's the only company that makes this square barrel hinge. Really interesting to look at, really neat, certainly not the run-of-the-mill sort of hinge, and is going to give you, if you're looking for something to be ultra-modern, McKinney will give you the ability to have your door hinges, your doors, your installations stand out. So it's exciting to review something that's something you don't run into very often. First of all, this hinge is shown in the 625 finish, although we're calling it 26. That's what McKinney is calling it, I should say. US 26 certainly means polished chrome, as you can see, and that's a really nice reflective polished chrome finish that's there. Okay, it's more specific in terms of it being helpful to call it 625. 625 is also polished chrome, but it defines the base metal. This hinge is made of solid brass. Okay, solid brass hinge is what this is going to be. Okay, and that certainly helps explain some of the cost. Okay, these are not insignificant in terms of cost. So they're really elegant looking with that square barrel. Here are some limitations. First of all, here is a limitation. They are available only in solid brass, which means they're not to be used on a fire-rated door, because a fire-rated door must have a ferrous-based hinge, steel. 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch only. They can't do 4x4 or any other size, unfortunately. I've had people request 4x4, and McKinney does only 4.5, 4.5, so that means that you're dealing with 1 3/4 doors. This would be too large for an 1 3/8 door. Wouldn't be the best option for a 2 1/4 inch thick door either. Something else to be very aware of, these are handed. They have to be ordered in the proper hand, and that's because these leaves, the leaves of the hinge, separate so simply. Okay, there is a nylon bushing that's there. Okay, in what would be the bottom leaf. The pin is going to be in the top leaf because the weight of the door is going to hold it down. So you couldn't install it this way, with this being the door leaf. Okay, so when it's installed, the pin has to be on the door leaf and pointed in the down direction like this. Okay. There is a link below this video to the handing chart that will help you determine what hand of the door that you're working with. Okay. So in my example, this is, and it will look backwards to you on the camera, but this is a right-hand hinge. So if you'll just envision me being on the push side of the door, this leaf is the jamb, this leaf is the door. Okay, so from your perspective, this would be what we would call a left-hand reverse. So if you're viewing this video, okay, the door leaf is going to be up here, and the weight of it will be resting down on the bottom leaf. Available in all common architectural finishes. McKinney will certainly give us an ability to cater to a custom request for a finish. This is a full mortise hinge. This is where I have to put my fingerprints on this, unfortunately. So from this hinge, there's no, because of the design of the hinge, okay, there's no swag on the hinge leaves there because of their inherent design, but they're meant to be mortised flush to the edge of the door and frame. The material thickness is unusual. It's 177 thousandths thick. All right. give you an idea of what that looks like. So the one leaf, the hinge leaf, just the one leaf will appear to be very stationary. There is a link below this video to what's called the template, and that is a very handy document to refer to. It will show all of the dimensional properties of the screw holes. Those are known as what we would call template. They're typical the common template pattern for 4.5 inch hinges. If what you have is template, or you don't, or you have something that's not prepped for a hinge, don't worry about it. If you have a steel frame by any chance, don't worry about it. This will match. Okay, you can see all of the other dimensional properties of the hinge. Okay, it's also crucial to consider a note that's on the door itself. Pardon me, a note that is on the template itself is that these are for square edge doors. So when you're looking at the hinge in section like this, in profile I should say, cross section, if you had a beveled door, you would need that hinge to sit at an odd angle. Okay? The hinge is going to need to be out a bit like this, because a typical bevel on a door is 3 degrees. Well, if we maintain that, you're going to accomplish an odd look to the clean line of this. Got to be square edge doors, so that look is utterly clean. Okay, that's very important to know. And that template is the guide by which these are manufactured. Meaning when you get this hinge, it's going to be what's drawn on that template. Looking at the rest of the extended description, we'll just go through it real quick. It is a full mortise hinge. It has to be mortised flush to the edge of the door and frame. It's called 2-knuckle, that's self-explanatory. Square barrel, obviously. Extruded brass, polished and finished. That's just a reference to this 625 finish. It is handed, only available 4.5, 4.5. Bearing contains anti-friction component. I would say that would be a reference to the nylon bushing that's in there. I don't know that that's nylon. I don't know what the composition of that is, but generically we'll call it nylon. Recommended for use on doors with average weight and average frequency. Interior, exterior, hollow metal doors, square edge, hollow metal doors, square edge wood doors, wood frames, hollow metal frames. Square edge doors only, cannot be electrified. They wouldn't have the ability to run a wire through there at all. It's exciting to be able to review something that is atypical and unusual. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to work with you directly or as an intermediary with the factory on a special request. I applaud McKinney for making something that is an exquisitely nice, elegant piece of architectural hardware. Okay, that's it. Any questions on the McKinney SQ3331 square barrel hinge or any other McKinney product, please feel free to reach out to us.